Dear fellow Lions and Leos, good morning. I'm Past Council Chairman Spiros Seremidis, the 2020-2021 LISC President, joined you today from my home in Athens, Greece. Today, I would like to talk to you about the importance of stamps to Lionism. First, a brief history. The postage stamp was initially issued in 1840 by Sir Rowland Hill as a payment for correspondence with an engraved image of the young British monarch Queen Victoria. Later, other countries followed with images with political leaders, but soon stamps started depicting other imagery. Stamp circulation around the world increased, and stamps began depicting imagery that represented important cultural events, social values, exotic locations, and activities. These are the stamps we know today.
The stamp has played an important role in Lionism. In 1940, at the 24th International Convention in Cuba, the first Lion stamp was issued. This was a great opportunity to circulate the stamp and promote the existence of Lions humanitarian work worldwide. Then, in 1951, at the International Convention in Atlantic City, USA, the Lions International Stamp Club, LISC, was formed by dedicated Lions with a common bond of Lionism and philately. LISC took on the important role of coordinating the production, the consulting policy, and the correct classification of Lions stamps, which began to be produced by a great number of Lions clubs, districts, and associations. Melvin Jones, the founder of Lions International, was an avid stamp collector and charter member of LISC. Nicaragua was the first country to honor and depict Melvin Jones on a stamp. This stamp was issued on the occasion of District D's 17th convention. Other countries soon followed. The image of Lions International headquarters in Chicago until 1971 and the Oak Brook office from 1971 to present have been depicted on several stamps. The Lions logo could be found on many stamps. The Lions logo is also used as an overprint on regular stamps. Most often this is done for commercial purposes, attracting stamp collectors. Several stamps highlight the Lions motto, "We Serve," while others have been used to remind us of different Lions conventions outside the US and the Europa Forum. A large number of stamps were issued on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of Lions International in 1967 and the 90th anniversary of Lions International in 2007. Different countries have chosen special Lionistic anniversaries to commemorate with stamps as well. Several stamps were used to honor Raoul Follereau, a member of Lions International Clubs of France. Follereau contributed greatly to the creation of the Village of Hope in San Manco, Mali, which was intended for lepers who had been cured but who still needed further treatment as they re-entered society. He organized the Raoul Follereau Foundation, which, along with Lions International and other humanitarian organizations, helped make the Village of Hope a reality. Images of Helen Keller, who challenged Lions to become Knights of the Blind, was honored on stamps of several countries over the years, as well as many sight-related interests such as guide dogs, the white cane, and other vision-related projects. Medical concerns involving Lions clubs have also been the subject of several stamps. The Lions International Peace Poster Contest and other Lions-related themes have found their way onto stamps around the world. Several countries honored service organizations such as Lions International, Rotary, Roundtable, Chiroptimus, and Kiwanis with a series of stamps. LISC continues to foster and develop the avocation of stamp collecting among Lions and Leos and to strengthen Lionism through international goodwill. LISC members participate in activities such as stamp exchanges and use stamp collection programs for charitable and community service. Some of LISC's current service projects are Deaf and Blind Children's School in Australia, Lion School projects in South Africa, Australia, Canada, and the Netherlands, supporting children's hospices and Lions welfare projects in the UK and Ireland, Catholic Mission at Burkina Faso with the Lions of Italy, military veterans organizations and rehabilitation hospitals in the USA, and Australia's Help Aussie Kids to Walk, which has raised tens of thousands of dollars from the auction of used stamps and donated collections to support the Australian Lions Children's Mobility Foundation.
Dear Lions and Leos, I have had the pleasure and honor to share the story of LISC on the 70th anniversary of Lions International Stamp Club. I hope I have inspired you to become a member of Lions International Stamp Club and join our Lions Philatelic family. You will receive the quarterly edition of our Philatelist magazine and have the opportunity to update your collection from our stock books. LISC can supply you with the stamps, albums, and catalog of all Lions stamps. Annual dues are only $15 for Europe and world dollars and 20 for United States and Canada. Please visit our website to learn more. And now, let's hear testimonials from a few of our long-time LISC members. Thank you.
My name is Edward Hannaberry, and I have been in Lions 27 years. I joined the Lions Club of Hornsby, Sydney, Australia. I joined Lions International Stamp Club in 2004. As Lions International Stamp Club member, when I retired in 2012, I built up my collection of Lions stamps. I saved stamps with Lions logos like those being shown. Many of the stamps show Lions projects in those countries. I have over 800 pages like this, and I started in 1997. As I have saved stamps for 67 years, since 1954, when I was 8 years old, I have many stamps from all over the world, as seen in the albums behind me. In 2017, 40 countries around the world produced stamps with Lions logos. This is a way we promote Lions through stamps, which is what Lions International Stamp Club members do, as well as enjoying their hobby. I enjoy being a member of LISC as it gives us a chance to get rarer items, which are hard to get, as we keep them between members and also we share our passion with them. I took on becoming LISC Chapter 10 President in Australia, helping with the Lions Stamp project of raising money for walkers for children with cerebral palsy, which is administered by Australian Lions Children's Mobility Foundation. This project has run since 1995 by Ross Payne, International Past President of the Lions International Stamp Club. We have Lions and the Australian community all over Australia collecting stamps for us as they like to support this project. We raised $66,500 this year, which we handed the cheque over in May. Photos of Ross Payne in stamps, Order of Merit of Australia. The photo shows how we clip stamps on paper to sell at auction. This year, over 500 kilos, 1,200 pounds of stamps, plus albums of stamps and first day covers were sold. All these are donations from people right across Australia. Both lines are members of the Australian community. They are sorted into auction lots to help us raise maximum amount of money from these donations. In 1991, Ross Payne and Max Lurie talked about raising money from stamps for Lions projects, their hobby. In 1995, it was decided to support the Children's Blind School, Thinking as Lions, Lions are Knights of the Blind. In 2004, it was decided to support Australian Lions Children Mobility Foundation. In the last 3 years, these stamps are sold at auction, and List Chapter 10 Australia has raised $167,000. Photos of children in various walkers. The first walker we used was the Heart Walker, designed in the UK, as shown by brother taking his brother for his first walk. These walkers are adjusted as the children grows. This improves the health of the children. These walkers would usually last 6 years. Now there are many walkers to suit all different needs for children. To see the smile on the child's face for their first walk and the parents is priceless. I am very passionate about being a Lion and what we achieve worldwide.
My name is Michael Gelber, or Micha Gelber. I'm a Lion for over 45 years. I'm 86 years old, living in the Netherlands. I happen to be a stamp collector and philatelist since my 8th year. And one of the main subjects, if not the only subject today, are Lion stamps. I joined all the conventions I could. I've been at 13 international conventions where we have a booth of LISC, the Lions International Stamp Club, where we register new members, renew memberships, sell stamps, and basic collections. The beauty of collecting Lion stamps as subject, as theme, is the mere fact that it represents all the aspects of Lionism. You see, for instance, now, stamps from Cuba with a gutter pair, a special philatelic form, as the way it was printed. It's the first Lion stamp of 1940, when the International Convention was conducted in Havana. Each convention, we have a booth where we meet all our people, as we are an independent organization of the Lions International Clubs in Oudboek for so many years. One of the founders of the Lions International Club was Melvin Jones himself, and he introduces also as a means of communication between Lions. Many governors, many directors, and quite a few presidents are or have been members of our stamp organization. It promotes Lionism. It promotes the fight against blindness, the main goal at LCI. And many stamps are devoted to blindness. So a secondary collection I have in my stamps collection is blindness. The 650 plus Lion stamps, the latest of which have been issued only in April this year by the Dutch Chapter 7, or the Benelux chapter, I must say, showing stamps for the 70th year celebration of the existence of LISC, and a stamp, a virtual stamp, for the convention in Montreal. We hope to be able to be present again in New Delhi when a normal convention can be conducted. I enjoy this. About 40% of my time is devoted to the Lions Stamp organization, being the webmaster, no, not the webmaster, but I'm keeping the web shop. So any connection you want to have with our organization and with our stamp shop, please lay to our email address, liscnis@gmail.com. Thank you for your attention. I hope you will join us and see us at the next convention.
I'm Dr. Howard Levinson, and I'm past president of the Lions International Stamp Club. I first read about the club back in 1967. That was the charter year, 50th charter year of the Lions International. And I'd only been a member since 1962. And in the magazine, there was a article about the Stamp Club. And with it had a membership application. And so it sounded kind of interesting to me because I'd been collecting stamps for maybe 4 or 5 years and thought that would be interesting. So I filled out the application, sent it in, and found out there were a lot of people, hundreds, well, probably close to maybe over 1,000, 1,200 Lions that were members of this stamp club all over the world. And so it gave me a chance to interact with a lot of people all over the world. Language was not a problem because stamps was kind of universal, and if you collect them, then you can have a nice relationship with the people that you have that also collect stamps. So after a while, we were getting stamps and requests for stamps and from other members all over the world, Singapore. Well, not Singapore, that happened much more later. But France, Germany, Europe, it was everywhere. In the United States, particularly heavy then. There were a lot of people who were stamp collectors, and then we found out that there were a lot of stamps honoring lions. That was very interesting because the countries all over the world were collecting or publishing stamps honoring Lions clubs, members, international directors, presidents, international presidents, conventions, the clubs themselves, the activities they did for their communities. So it was quite interesting, and the stamp club actually presented had its own bulletin called the Philatelist, and it was we'd see people advertising they'd need stamps that they didn't have, or we wanted, so people would correspond back and forth and send them stamps, and so it was a lot of fun. And even we'd use our old postage, not old postage, but old stamps that hadn't been used as postage. So the people that got the things we were sending to them also got the stamps from the postage that we sent to them. So that was kind of fun. And we helped people, like in Canada, I had some correspondence with Lions up there that the clubs were supporting children's clubs and also places where children were orphanages. And so they'd have stamp clubs in these orphanages. And so we'd send them stamps and they'd need things and we'd send them to them. So it was a lot of fun. And we got to be corresponding with a lot of people. And it was very, very interesting. And one day I was able to go by the new international office when it opened up in Oak Brook, Illinois. And when I went there, I went through the front door, and the stairway going up to the second floor, there was a whole, all these stamps in sheets, framed in sheets along the stairway. And I thought that was really neat. And then I went upstairs and went into, I saw Melvin Jones's original office that they'd taken out from Chicago, in downtown Chicago, and moved it out there. And on the top of the desk was an album of stamps, because Melvin Jones was a stamp collector himself. and he was one of the founding members of the Lions International Stamp Club. So that was really interesting to see that, and it was really impressive. I've been able to meet a lot of people and learned a lot from Lions and being in the Stamp Club. I became international president and went through all the chairs and met a lot of neat people. And we always look forward to going to the conventions and meeting and having meetings and just socializing. So it was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot from doing all that for my my interactions with all the Lions all over the world. So I'm still corresponding with people from Italy, Singapore, Australia, Japan, France, South Africa. So there's a lot of interchange going there, and you'd find it very interesting if you became a member. And I encourage you to do that.